Chapter 22-26, Light Fire. Southern border. A group of 5 Gu masters were sprinting rapidly on the road. The leader had rank 4 cultivation level. He had an ordinary face, but was exceptionally capable. It was Shang Clan's Gu master Xiao Yan. Moving fire Gu. He was activating a fire path Gu worm now to travel. Each step he took, flames would be ignited on the ground, causing a huge trail of fire to burn along his path. Behind him, the 4 Gu masters all had rank 2 cultivation level. They were gritting their teeth as they followed him. Lord Xiao Yan, let's rest for a while. We don't have enough primeval essence. While running, a rank 2 Gu master suggested. Xiao Yan slowed his speed, but he was still running. This was the wilderness. If Gu masters did not have sufficient primeval essence, they would face great risks in surviving. A rank 2 Gu master was also not qualified to explore the wild. They lacked the capability and strength. But right now, Xiao Yan had a mission to do. According to the information, if I am any later, the fire in the village will be unstoppable. I need to hurry there now. Last time, I was misled by the enemy's information and went out to search for fire path Gu materials, causing Lady Shang Xinci to face great danger. This time, I need to work hard and complete this mission to make up for my mistake. Thinking of this, Xiao Yan made up his mind. He ordered, "You 4, go rest. I will head there first. After you are done resting, catch up to me." "Yes." The 4 Gu masters answered. Xiao Yan's speed rose to its limit. He quickly went into the forest. A few hours later, he arrived at his destination, a small village that was under Shang clan's control. "Lord, you finally came. The village has already prepared some wine." The village head was a rank 4 Gu master. He spoke to Xiao Yan politely, but Xiao Yan waved his hand. "The fire is more important. We need to resolve this issue first." The village head was overjoyed. "Lord is wise. Please come with me. To speak the truth, I have been very anxious these days." The village head brought Xiao Yan to the back of the mountain. Xiao Yan saw that in a crevice at the back of the mountain, there was a white dazzling flame burning intensely. "That's right. This is light fire." Xiao Yan stared from afar as his pupils shrank. "This light fire is too big. It covers a range of at least 200 paces. This is beyond my capabilities." Light fire was a type of special fire. It was a rank 5 Gu material. From what Xiao Yan knew, this Gu material could be used to refine rank 5 light path or fire path Gu worms. From the perspective of a Gu immortal, the essence was clear. This light fire contained fire path and light path Dao marks. To think that I could not find any special fire earlier no matter how I searched. But once I took this mission, I found such a large area of light fire. Lady Shang Xinci purposely gave this mission to me. She is simply too kind and merciful. Sigh, this gratitude. Xiao Yan sighed internally. He gradually understood Shang Xinci's intention. He slowly got closer to the light fire as the distance shortened. He felt deeper emotions internally. He became angry for no reason. This was not strange. This was the effect of the light fire. The closer one got to this Gu material, the angrier they would become. Xiao Yan tried to use fire path methods and quickly kept away a lump of the light fire that was the size of a basin. Xiao Yan nodded. Internally, his earlier evaluation was right. Such a large field of light fire could not be taken by him alone, but he could keep most of it. Afterwards, the 4 rank 2 Gu masters would arrive and help him to complete this mission successfully. But they had to be quick. Gu materials like light fire would spread and grow rapidly in the day. But now was night time. The light fire's growth was suppressed. This was also the reason why Xiao Yan rushed there at full speed while leaving his subordinates behind. "Before they get here, I need to make arrangements in the surroundings in case of enemies." Xiao Yan immediately used his alert methods near the light fire. Guarding against others was a necessity. Furthermore, in order to retrieve this light fire, Xiao Yan had to use his full strength. Why are there still mortals in the surroundings? While surveying the location, Xiao Yan found that there were many mortals praying within the mountain's forest towards the fire. The village head quickly guaranteed that he would chase these mortals away. For the following period, he would not let these mortals interrupt Xiao Yan and his subordinates. Next, the village head explained the reason. It turned out that because the sky had gotten strange recently, without white heaven or black heaven, day and night could no longer be differentiated. Thus, The Gu masters of the 5 regions and even mortals were deeply shocked and fearful that on a certain night, fire rain fell from the sky. Lumps of heaven flames landed in the range of 10,000 li around the village. These mortals were shocked by the phenomenon and thought that heaven was angry and punishing these mortals by burning them to death. Thus, they were all kneeling here and praying for forgiveness. Foolish. Xiao Yin snorted coldly, but his expression became milder. He could understand them. When the sky first changed, he was also extremely fearful. But with the information from Shang Xinci, he learned that even though this was a huge event, it was not dangerous to them. Even if there were danger, it was not something that Gu masters at Xiao Yan's level should care about at the same time. Immemorial white heaven. Or more accurately, in the fused black and white heavens. A few tens of thousands of li away. Fang Yuan watched the huge sun from afar. The sun seemed to be moving forward slowly, but it was traveling rapidly on a fixed route, going from east to west, before U-turning and going back from west to east, repeating the process endlessly whenever the sun went. To the extreme east of immemorial white heaven, or the extreme west, 12 hours would pass exactly. With the swap of black heaven and white heaven, the 5 regions would be enveloped by the night sky, and in white heaven that was above black heaven, the sun would go on the return route from west to east, spending 12 hours to reach the starting point. By then, black heaven and white heaven would swap again. Thus, in the view and perception of mortals, the sun had always appeared from the east of white heaven when the night sky fades. When it was dusk, the sun would vanish into the extreme west as the night emerges. The sun was very large. Among the 11 venerables, even spectral soul demon venerable, who had the largest body that resembled a mountain, was far inferior to the sun. The size of the sun, in Fang Yuan's estimation, was about the size of giant Hero Sea area, and that was one of the largest sea areas in Eastern Sea. Originally, in immemorial white heaven, the sun's travel route had absolutely nothing in its way. But now, with the fusion of both heavens, the environment changed abruptly and chaotically. While Fang Yuan was observing, a large area of black clouds blocked the sun's path. Whenever the sun moved forward by a little, a large portion of the black clouds would dissipate. Of course, the sun was not completely unharmed. From time to time, sparks would fall off the surface of the sun. These heaven flames would land on the black clouds or scatter elsewhere. An even smaller portion of them would land in the 5 regions. From Fang Yuan's perspective, the collision of the black clouds and the sun was like the collision of 2 groups of Tao marks. The former was dark path and cloud path, while the latter was light path and fire path. The black cloud is bound to lose, but the sun's expenditure is also considerable. With such an intense change, it is no wonder that heaven form has turned chaotic and is also at the brink of breaking apart. Fang Yuan was originally refining heaven path immortal Gu. The reason why he suddenly changed his plans and came up to the 2 heavens of Eastern Sea was because of heaven form. Heaven form was left by thieving heaven demon venerable. It was considered half a thieving heaven true inheritance. Back then, thieving heaven demon venerable had encountered a natural heavenly spirit in immemorial white heaven by chance. This natural heavenly spirit could not be brought out of white heaven or placed into one's grotto heaven. It was filled with heavens, that was constantly replenished at all times. Even thieving heaven demon venerable could not use his human will to refine it forcefully. After thinking long and hard, he found a solution. He forcefully condensed it and created an immortal killer move, calling it heaven form. The refinement of heaven form needed a long period of time and generations of wills to cleanse. One day, it would be truly refined by a Gu immortal. By then, it would be usable. Afterwards, this heaven form killer move was obtained by the heaven surveying 5 Xiangs who made the 1,000-year bet, eventually ending up in Fang Yuan's hands. Heaven form was a huge help to Fang Yuan, especially in terms of invading the 2 heavens grotto heavens, as well as displaying great use during the Fate War. Heaven form was like a one-legged crane that was covered in snow-white feathers which had no dust or dirt. It had a long beak that was red in color. When activating it, it would spread its wings and fly elegantly. When it was inactive, it would shut its eyes and stand on one leg. Its neck would coil up on its back as it rested silently. Heaven form had been kept in immemorial, white heaven all along. Fang Yuan could not take it away, because its foundation was an immemorial white heaven. Now that immemorial white heaven and black heaven were fusing, heaven form's foundation was affected. Fang Yuan had to help it in time and stabilize its form. Otherwise, without external aid, it would be destroyed. Chapter 22-27. Fang Yuan's Loving Consolation. Chapter 22-27. Fang Yuan's loving consolation. The white crane-like heaven form cried out in front of Fang Yuan. It was in great pain. Its body twisted and curled up at times. Fang Yuan's fingers were spread like blooming flowers as he activated his refinement path killer move. Traces of green and fragrant wind moved around the white crane like chains coiling on its body, stabilizing its form. Heaven form was originally declining in condition, but after using this method, its collapse was slowing down. But that was not enough. The white crane continued to cry out, "Don't worry, I am around. I will protect you." Fang Yuan continued to console it. This was a killer move from an information path Gu Immortal because it was special and had refinement path effect. Langya Land Spirit kept a copy of it. After Fang Yuan's modification, he abandoned the original name and called it Loving Consolation. It seemed like information path, but was actually a refinement path method. After returning to its roots, the effect was greatly elevated. This move could allow the Gu Immortal to use words of consolation on an incomplete immortal Gu to affect the refinement process. For example, if on the brink of failure, Fang Yuan consoled it repeated as such, "I know you can do it. Work hard. You can definitely succeed. Believe in yourself." If these words of consolation reached the incomplete immortal Gu that was about to break apart, its condition would stop worsening. It could even recover and succeed in refinement in the end. However, this move had certain restrictions. Firstly, the effect was continuous. Each sentence had little effect on the process. Only through an accumulation of nonstop speech could there be an evident effect. Thus, during refinement, if there was a sudden accident and this move was not used in time, or maybe the effect of this move could not catch up with the speed of deterioration, then the refinement process could not be salvaged. Secondly, this move could only be used on an incomplete immortal Gu. That was to say, the refinement must reach a certain stage before this could be used. Otherwise, without an incomplete immortal Gu formed, this move could not even be used. Many Gu recipes refined immortal Gu immediately. There was no intermediate step of forming an incomplete immortal Gu first. Thus, this could not be used in such situations. But Fang Yuan could use it now. Because this situation was a little special, heaven form was originally intact, but with the fusion of black heaven and white heaven, it suffered major injuries and could be treated as an incomplete immortal Gu. Of course, the basis was that Fang Yuan was a refinement path venerable and had the attainment level and methods to treat the rank 9 killer move, heaven form, as a Gu worm undergoing refinement. "Don't worry, with me around, you can rest assured." Fang Yuan continued to speak gently, but heaven form's cries were getting louder. Suddenly, heaven form's snow-white feathers started to blaze up. It was originally an ember, but the fire soon grew after a few breaths of time, becoming the size of a human palm. Fang Yuan immediately took action, breathing in deeply and activating his killer move as 2 lumps of qi that were white and blue respectively blew out of his nose. The 2 breaths first landed on the feathers and extinguished the flames before turning into frost and preventing the fire from starting again. Thankfully, I used this refinement path killer move before. I am considerably familiar with it. Fang Yuan was glad internally that if not for that, he would not be able to handle it in time. The larger the fire, the greater the cost Fang Yuan would have to bear when he dealt with it. If the fire spread throughout heaven form's body, then this killer move would be destroyed. Even Fang Yuan could not save it then. "You must pull through. Your master believes in you," Fang Yuan said lovingly. The white crane's cries became louder and sharper. "What's going on?" Bright light shined in Fang Yuan's eyes. Soon, he realized the problem. A wave of black poisonous liquid appeared in the white crane's body and started spreading rapidly, corroding everything and causing the killer move to be nearly destroyed internally. The white crane vomited intensely as black liquid came out of its mouth. Fang Yuan grunted and knew that he could not use a fire refinement method. Otherwise, it would trigger the previous fire. Thus, he pointed. Instantly, 100 green light specks flew into the white crane's mouth like a swarm of insects. The green light spread around the poisonous liquid and grew rapidly. Stalks of green grass grew rapidly, absorbing all of the poison in the white crane's body. Fang Yuan flicked his finger again as golden light flowed like water, entering the white crane's body and cutting all the grass away. Powder also entered the white crane's body and helped to heal it at this time. Everything will be over soon. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Don't give up. Fang Yuan encouraged it again. But the white crane screeched intensely. Its body started to twitch like it was shocked by lightning. Next, its long and elegant body started to inflate like a balloon. It got larger and larger, seemingly reaching its limit and about to explode. Fang Yuan quickly stretched out his hand and grabbed with 5 fingers as a huge rod appeared in his palm. Just one refinement path killer move is not enough. Fang Yuan's thoughts flashed rapidly like sparks in his mind. He manipulated the goo worms in his immortal aperture and prepared another killer move. The next moment, sharp icy spikes appeared on the huge rod. Boom. Fang Yuan exerted strength into his arm and slammed down on the white crane's body. It immediately cried out in pain and looked at its master in utter disbelief. But Fang Yuan was still smiling gently. You must believe in master. Believe in yourself too. Boom. Fang Yuan waved the rod and slammed down again. The white crane's inflated body was forcefully deflated. Powerful air currents gushed out of the holes on its body that were left by the spikes. Boom. Fang Yuan smiled gently. White crane, be good. Work harder. Boom. Fang Yuan smiled sincerely. White crane, you are so cute. Persevere on. We will succeed eventually. Boom boom. Fang Yuan smiled mercifully. No matter what you experience, don't ever give up. With me around, I won't let you die. The huge rod slammed down once more, while the white crane had already broken down mentally. Boom. After a loud impact, it nearly fainted. There were no movements anymore. However, its body returned to the original size. It no longer was inflated but was covered in injuries. It was barely still alive, no longer displaying the power of a rank 9 killer move. Fang Yuan stored away the huge rod with icy spikes that he nodded in satisfaction and muttered to himself. Although it is my first time trying these two moves together, my refinement path venerable intuition is not wrong. There are no mistakes at all. The effect is just as strong as I expected. This move is not like loving consolation. It has wide usage. I can practice it more in the future. Next time, if such a situation happens, I will use this again. As if the crane heard Fang Yuan's words, its corpse shook intensely and its mouth was tightly shut. With the fusion of white heaven and black heaven, heaven form fell into a deep predicament. Fang Yuan had to guard it at all times and use refinement path killer moves to stabilize it whenever an issue occurred. The difficulty is not high now, but the future is uncertain. By guarding heaven form, I am also restricted greatly. The more I try to save it, the more immortal essence I will waste. Fang Yuan did not have much immortal essence to begin with. This made the problem even worse. But I cannot abandon heaven form. Fang Yuan had to preserve this killer move. From his luck inspection through cooking luck pot earlier, Fang Yuan analyzed and found that heaven path was his best choice in getting past his current predicament. Like now, while guarding heaven form, he was also refining other heaven path immortal goo in the sovereign immortal aperture. A new heaven path immortal goo was refined. This heaven path immortal goo looked like a crystal spider. It was clear and transparent with no flaws on the body. The spider's 8 legs were slim and long. Its body was also small and raised high by the 8 legs. Rank 8 heaven path immortal goo. Heavenly web. This goo was the core of the heaven path killer move, heavenly web protection veil. Back then in Crazed Demon Cave, Paradise Earth used it multiple times. It had outstanding defensive properties. It was definitely on par with Fang Yuan's reverse flow protection seal. After Fang Yuan killed Paradise Earth, he found that there were only 2 heaven path immortal goo in his immortal aperture. Point 1 was heavenly web goo. The other was heavenly birth goo. Heavenly birth goo was used by Paradise Earth to revive. It was also his core immortal goo when converting from earth path to heaven path. There were also many other immortal goo. Like information path immortal goo summary. It could allow a goo immortal to deduce the general summary of a complicated information. Or for example, rule path immortal goo normal. It could allow the target to recover to their normal condition. By using these immortal goo. Paradise Earth formed many heaven path killer moves like Heavenly Web Protection Veil, Emotionless Heaven and Earth, Heavenly Summary, Earthly Norm, and others. These immortal goo were all destroyed by Paradise Earth's will before his death. Currently, Heavenly Web goo was refined. Fang Yuan had to refine Heavenly Birth goo next. Heavenly Birth goo could heal immortal goo. When used with Fang Yuan's refinement path killer moves, it could have an effect on heaven form. Fang Yuan had his own heaven path accumulation before this. Rank 8 Heavenly Secret goo, Heaven's Envy goo, and the Heaven Envy's heroic genius's killer move that he used in Crazed Demon Cave, as well as the heaven form that he was saving now. After making huge gains from looting Paradise Earth, Fang Yuan gained a large increase in Heaven Path Foundation, especially in Paradise Earth's Heaven Path research results. There is a method called Obscured Heavenly Secret that can use the power of Heaven Path to conceal oneself. It is very useful to me. Fang Yuan's greatest objective was the killer move Obscured Heavenly Secret. After that, it was to refine Heavenly Birth goo and stabilize heaven form. Obscured Heavenly Secret could be modified. In theory, the more Heaven Path immortal goo used in the move, the greater the concealment effect. Fang Yuan had to resolve his predicament of insufficient immortal essence. He had two choices right now. Point 1 was to develop his immortal aperture. But accelerating the time in sovereign immortal aperture was not a good idea. Fang Yuan could only expand his Great Love goo refinement plan and try to get more resource points added into his immortal aperture to raise his immortal aperture origin core and produce more immortal essence. The other solution was to advance Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus. Rank 8 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus was extremely helpful to Fang Yuan. Without it, Fang Yuan would have run out of immortal essence in Crazed Demon Cave. It had such an incredible effect. Whoever used it would understand why it was Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's vital goo. Fang Yuan was now a rank 9 venerable. Rank 8 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus was not suitable for him. If he advanced it, rank 9 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus would definitely allow Fang Yuan to break out of this predicament. However, if he tried to advance it now, the information would no doubt be exposed. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable were watching him closely. Fang Yuan knew this clearly. He was now rank 9. Rank 8 Cooking Luck Pot could only barely help him. When he tries to refine rank 9 Immortal goo, his luck would fluctuate immensely. Against Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, Cooking Luck Pot would not conceal the luck entirely. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was a Wisdom Path Venerable. It was even harder to conceal the information from her. The moment I refine my rank 9 goo is also my weakest moment. The two of them will definitely cooperate to attack me. Thus, this obscured Heavenly Secret killer move is the crucial factor. Cooking Luck Pot could not deceive Giant Sun Immortal Venerable because it was Luck Path, but obscured Heavenly Secret was Heaven Path. It was like how Fang Yuan had little countermeasures against Pill Path and Painting Path, against Heaven Path. Even Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable would be helpless. But this method has a hidden threat. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had assimilated with the Tao 3 million years ago, while Heavenly Court hasn't. Immense foundation in Heaven Path research results. How long can obscured Heavenly Secret conceal the truth from her? Chapter 22-28. Control of Immortal Essence Stones. Chapter 22-28. Control of Immortal Essence Stones. Central Continent. Point 3 Rank 6 goo immortals were surrounding an ancient cloud beast and attacking it. Be careful. The ancient cloud beast suddenly transformed and raised its speed, attacking the woman among the three immortals. The female immortal was not fazed. Her white blouse moved like a blooming flower, a vague silhouette blocking the cloud beast's attack. But this ancient cloud beast also attacked more fiercely. Even though it was blocked, it did not retreat. Instead, it changed its form and enveloped the female immortal entirely. From outside, it looked like the ancient cloud beast had devoured the Female immortal, Fairy Lian Yun. Shi He shouted and wanted to activate an information path killer move anxiously. But beside him, Yuez stopped his action. Wait. If you use this move and pierce the cloud beast, what if you injure Fairy Lian Yun? Shi stopped and gritted his teeth. Then what do we do? Yuez, who had the appearance of a young man, showed a solemn expression. In this situation, I can only try to use that move. What move? He felt that it was too dangerous. Don't tell me you are not familiar with it yet. But Yuez had already started preparing the move. Sensing the aura of the killer move, the cloud beast enveloped Zhao Lianyun and rushed towards them. Shi immediately used his method to try to stall the ancient cloud beast. He opened his mouth wide, and his tongue could be seen. The information path killer move activated as Shi spoke rapidly without stopping. The power of words affected the ancient cloud beast's body as a formless power accumulated and stalled its movement. After more than 10 breaths of time, Shi finally heard Yuez's voice. He deactivated his killer move with joy and dodged to the side, while Yuez's palms aimed at the ancient cloud beast as 2 beams of light shot out of them. The beams were pale blue. After landing on the ancient cloud beast, they started to dissolve. Zhao Lianyun, who was trapped inside the cloud beast, struggled intensely. She put in more effort and finally broke free from it, regaining freedom. Oi, my turn. Shi saw that Zhao Lianyun had escaped and quickly made his move. Cooperating with Yuez and using an offensive killer move. 2 killer moves landed on the ancient cloud beast with a loud sound. This ancient cloud beast exploded on the spot. The ancient cloud beast's corpse turned into lumps of clouds. Most were immortal materials. After Zhao Lianyun and the rest collected the materials, they rested on the spot. It was my fault. I got trapped by the cloud beast and caused our immortal materials to not be high in quality. Zhao Lianyun apologized. This loss is nothing. We only have rank 6 cultivation level but fought against an ancient cloud beast. Winning is already a huge achievement. We cannot ask for more. Yuez consoled. Shi talked loudly. Ever since the Battle of Reverse Flow River, we have not been able to meet up often. While the 2 heavens are fusing together, with beast groups escaping from the 2 heavens to Central Continent, we are able to meet again to stop the calamity. Why bother fussing over the small details? The friendship of the 3 immortals was built up during the Reverse Flow River battle. Even though Fang Yuan was the biggest winner in that battle, the 3 of them had performed very well in the battle. They were saved by Wei Lingyang, who risked his life, and they managed to hair-raisingly escape with their lives under the reinforcements of Central Continent later. After they returned to their sect, they received a lot of nurturing. Zhao Lianyun smiled and said after Shi, since we do not mind the small details, I would like Shi to accept this gift. Saying so, she landed an information path immortal material to Shi. Shi, he was very happy. Wait. This is trash talk petal flower? This is an immortal material that I need to refine my immortal goo. He did not stand on ceremony. He took this rank 6 immortal material and inspected it carefully. Zhao Lianyun turned to Yuez and smiled as she handed him a refinement path goo immortal true inheritance. I got it. Yuez was very happy. The refinement path inheritance I cultivate is called 8 refinement gates. To think that the rumors are true, a certain generation fairy of Spirit Affinity House actually created the 9th gate on the foundation of this inheritance. Fairy Lianyun, how can I repay you? Zhao Lianyun shook her head and smiled. This is something within my abilities. It is also your good luck. Thankfully, I am the current generation fairy. Otherwise, I cannot have such authority to take the true inheritance. As for thanking me, of course I need something too. Zhao Lianyun said in a casual tone like she was joking. When you become rank 7 or 8 Gu Immortals, try to take care of me. Shi and Yuez's expressions turned slightly dim. They knew about Zhao Lianyun's situation. Zhao Lianyun had Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's rank 9 killer move Divine Concealment. She was unable to undergo tribulations, so her cultivation level could not advance. In contrast, Shi and Yuez's cultivation levels had increased significantly since the Battle of Reverse Flow River. Shi gritted his teeth and said, To speak the truth, I have been trying to find a way for you to break through this limitation. Gu immortals go through tribulations because of the heavenly Tao's balancing. Heavens will manipulate calamities and tribulations to form. Fairy, you cannot undergo tribulations because divine concealment hides you from heaven's will. The solution is simple. You just need to unravel divine concealment. Divine concealment is a rank 9 killer move. The difficulty of breaking this killer move is too high. But with the reign of 3 venerables now, breaking a rank 9 killer move is not impossible. But destroying the killer move is too wasteful. I think maybe you can find Lady Star Constellation Immortal Venerable to help. She is a wisdom path venerable. I am sure she has a solution. Zhao Lianyun smiled bitterly. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable is high and mighty. How can someone like myself even get to meet her? Fairy Lianyun, do not look down on yourself. The fact that you own rank 9 Love Immortal Gu means that you will not be ignored. You easy urged. But to get Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's help, according to the rules of the 10 great ancient sects and Heavenly Court, you will need to pay a huge amount of contribution points. But now, you used your contribution points to exchange for this true inheritance that you gave me. Thus, I hope you will take all these Cloud Beast Immortal materials. Shi Zheng laughed heartily. Then I will do the same. This is just a small token of my gratitude. Zhao Lianyun immediately shook her head. I understand your concern. If I bring back these Cloud Beast corpses and hand them over, I will get more contribution points than what I spent for the true inheritance. Even so, the amount that I lack to get Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's help is still too much. It is better to invest in you two first and raise your strength to rank 7 or 8 before you come back and help me. Wouldn't that be more efficient? Zhao Lianyun made a lot of sense. After listening to her, Shi Zheng and Yu Yizi decided to keep the Cloud Beast corpses. Even so, Fairy Lianyun, please accept these Immortal Essence Stones. Yeah, in the following fights, a lot of Immortal Essence will be expended. At the crucial moment, you can replenish it using Immortal Essence Stones to deal with dangerous situations. Shi Zheng and Yu Yizi spoke again. This time, Zhao Lianyun did not reject them. She took both of their Immortal Essence Stones. I do not have many Immortal Essence Stones indeed. In fact, the sect is rarely giving out Immortal Essence Stones now. Do you know what's going on? Zhao Lianyun asked. Yu Yizi and Shi Zheng shook their heads. They were in the same situation. Shi Zheng, it was an information path cultivator after all. He had heard some vague rumors. The 10 great ancient sects are all lower sects of Heavenly Court. All of our Immortal Essence Stones are distributed by them. Ever since the Fate War, Heavenly Court has started to reduce the amount of Immortal Essence Stones distributed. By now, they have basically stopped giving out any Immortal Essence Stones. The 10 great ancient sects have their own Immortal Essence Stone storage, but to save for the future, they also stopped handing them out. Yu Yizi also said, recently, when transacting Refinement Path Immortal Materials in Treasure Yellow Heaven, I also noticed this. There are increased transactions in Treasure Yellow Heaven, but most of them are done through resource trading. The circulation of Immortal Essence Stones has dwindled. Is Heavenly Court trying to influence the 5 regions Gu Immortal World through Immortal Essence Stones? Zhao Lianyun's eyes shined with bright light. All along, the Immortal Essence Stones in the market of the 5 regions and 2 heavens were from Heavenly Court. If Heavenly Court had control of the source, their influence would be huge. The group that was most heavily affected were the rank 6 Gu Immortals, and they also had the largest number in the Gu Immortal world that AS1's cultivation level rose to become rank 7 or 8. Their dependence on Immortal Essence Stones would fall, and this was very inconvenient for Zhao Lianyun. There were mainly 2 aspects. Firstly, having the transactions in Treasure Yellow Heaven was inconvenient. Secondly, once Zhao Lianyun had little Immortal Essence, she would not be able to replenish it quickly without Immortal Essence Stones. Don't tell me that Heavenly Court is trying to reduce the number of transactions among the Gu Immortals of the 5 regions so that they can prevent the lower-ranked Gu Immortals from fighting in advance. Zhao Lianyun thought to herself. The phenomenon of reducing Immortal Essence Stones became noticed by more Gu Immortals. Because there was only one source, which was Heavenly Court, other forces could not do anything about it. During normal times, immortal essence stones were used as currency for Gu immortals to trade, but during war times, they were important tactical resources as Gu immortals could replenish immortal essence with them. After realizing this phenomenon, the various forces of the 5 regions started to buy immortal essence stones and stock up on them. This made the supply of immortal essence stones became even lower than before. Naturally, Fang Yuan had noticed this himself. Heavenly Court is trying to weaken the strength of the other forces before war erupts, while raising the value of their own immortal essence stones. He was very interested in the secret behind Heavenly Court's immortal essence stones, be it Shadow Sect's true inheritance or Paradise Earth's true inheritance. He had not found any clues. Even during the Fate War, when Fang Yuan attacked Heavenly Court and destroyed the immortal graveyard, he did not find out the secret of the immortal essence stones. Heavenly Court limited the flow of immortal essence stones. It caused a huge headache to countless forces and Gu immortals. But for Fang Yuan, the problem was small. 1 immortal essence stone was equivalent to 1 green grape immortal essence bead. Each of Fang Yuan's yellow apricot immortal essence beads were worth 1,000,000. Immortal essence stones. Several days had passed since Fang Yuan arrived in the immemorial heavens and stabilized heaven form. Let's start. He let out a breath of air and started to prepare an immortal killer move. Heaven Path Killer Move. Obscured Heavenly Secret. Chapter 22-29, Giant Sun's Attack. Chapter 22-29, Giant Sun's Attack. Inside the sovereign immortal aperture, Mini Eastern Sea. Jade green water flowed like a large dragon, moving rapidly on the surface of the sea. Several rank 6 Gu immortals were chasing and trying to stop it. Quick! The water is flowing towards you. Watch this. Boom. The water flow rippled. A huge wave of over 100 feet rose. I blocked it. But be careful. 2 rank 6 Gu immortals were engulfed by the wave instantly. Damn it. The remaining Gu immortals used their methods to desperately stop it. In the end, the jade green water flow did not manage to escape the sea area. Once time was up, white light surrounded 10 li of the sea surface. He Chunqiu appeared and shouted, grabbed the air with his hands. Immediately, the surface of the sea rippled and surged with waves. After more than 10 breaths of time, a water path formation was built on it. This water path formation had a rank 7 water path immortal Gu as the core. The main formation had already expended a batch of water path immortal materials. The jade water flowed into the water path formation. It turned into a spiral whirlpool that moved on its own, emitting splashing sounds. The rank 6 Gu immortals here flew into the sky. After seeing this, they cheered uncontrollably. He Chunqiu inspected the formation again and ensured there were no issues before he also let out a breath of At this point, the jade green water flow resource point had been placed here. Jade green water flow was a rank 7 immortal material. It had a very famous trait in that it would always be moving without ever stopping. After Fang Yuan created the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance and took in the Righteous Qi Alliance, he extorted Eastern Sea's Righteous Path for a batch of water path resource points. This jade green water flow was one of them. He Chunqiu was in charge of placing this jade green water flow here. He made an immortal formation and ordered the rank 6 Gu immortals to trap this jade green water flow, preventing it from escaping elsewhere. After several days of effort, it was finally completed. From this day on, the resource point would not only produce jade green water flow, it would also be one of the water vein nodes. With further development in the future, this might form into a jade green water flow sea area. Divine Rift Whirlpool, 7 Treasures Sea Spring, Underwater 1,000-Year Profound Ice Island, Cleansing Water Region, Rolling Pearl Water Treasury. These last few days, Mini Eastern Sea gained more than 10 water vein nodes. Only 3 more are needed before we can form 1 water vein ring. While He Chunqiu was thinking, one of the rank 6 Gu immortals asked politely, Master, I wonder what other instructions there are. He Chunqiu waved his hand at them. A time path killer move was immediately activated. Their wounds healed at once. You may go back. He Chunqiu said. The Gu immortals left after expressing their gratitude. They were very busy and needed to go around the place to resolve problems and stabilize the environment of the sovereign immortal aperture. The number of missions in Star Collection Hall was innumerable. While watching them leave, He Chunqiu sighed to himself. After the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, the sovereign immortal aperture faced two main problems. The first problem was that strange phenomena were still occurring. Commonly, the sovereign immortal body's non-conflicting Tao marks was the root cause. The more Tao marks there were, the greater the problem. After Fang Yuan became venerable by passing the mini-chaotic disaster, he gained a huge number of refinement path Tao marks. At the same time, he had been building resource points recently. They were also made of Tao marks. The second problem was that the sovereign immortal aperture lacked manpower. During the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, he lost about 50 Gu immortals. A portion of them had died in the mini-chaotic disaster. They could not be revived, among which there was the combat beast king. Most of the rest revived. They were all Gu masters now. The current situation was quite peculiar. These people could not quickly ascend to immortal yet. Thus, even throughout the sovereign immortal aperture, the strongest people were He Chun Xiu, Wu Shui, Lady White Rabbit, Fairy Miao Yin, and the other rank 8 Gu immortals, establishing resource points and setting up formations. These were tasks that only He Chun Xiu and Wu Shui could do. Although they did not cultivate formation path, they were still Fang Yuan's clones and shared his attainment levels. Other people simply could not do it. He Chun Xiu had already entered the liver life formation multiple times recently. He had no time to rest at all. Maybe I should ask the main body to give orders and deploy a portion of the Merman Imperial Court's Merfolk Gu Immortals to help us? He Chun Xiu thought to himself. Compared to the humans, the variant humans were more reliant on Fang Yuan. They were less likely to betray him at the same time. Many Eastern Sea did need to relocate and move in a number of merfolk as well. Compared to the other 4 mini-regions, many Eastern Sea only had hairy men on the 3 major continents. Although the population was not small, other areas had no variant humans at all. They were too empty. The sovereign immortal aperture was developed and managed by the clones and subordinates, while Fang Yuan's main body focused on guarding heaven form. Boom, boom, boom. Fang Yuan's huge rod continued to slam on it. This time, there were no ice spikes on the rod. It was burning in flames instead. Heaven form was gritting its teeth, not daring to emit any cries as it curled up into a ball. The frost that appeared on its body out of nowhere was smashed by the rod before being melted by the flames. The black and white heavens became fused to a greater extent. Heaven form's condition was getting more unstable, but Fang Yuan was still quite relaxed. While stabilizing heaven form, he also activated obscured heavenly secret repeatedly to practice it and gain more insight about the move. The obscured heavenly secret killer move that he used now was the version that Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable had. Paradise Earth did not have heavenly secret immortal Gu. Thus he used heavenly web Gu as the core with a large amount of heaven path immortal materials. After these heaven path immortal materials were used, Fang Yuan's body became covered in a new layer of heaven path Tao marks, resembling a fishing net. Whenever anyone made deductions or tried to investigate Fang Yuan, this layer of the fishing net made from the heaven path Tao marks would rapidly change form. The lines would contract and twist rapidly, distorting everything from the original state. Thus, obscured heavenly secret's true effect is not to conceal myself from all deductions, but to perfectly mislead them and cause them to arrive at a wrong result. Fang Yuan had already recognized the essence of this move. Once the fishing net's heaven path Tao marks are depleted, this obscured heavenly secret would lose all effect. Conversely, the more heaven path immortal materials I consume, the more heaven path Tao marks would be used to construct this fishing net, which would cause this obscured heavenly secret killer move to become even stronger and long-lasting. Because of this, Fang Yuan saw hope of deceiving the 2 venerables. Theoretically, as long as he had enough heaven path Tao marks, he would be able to prevent the 2 venerables from finding out that he was refining heavenly essence treasure Imperial Lotus. Right now, Fang Yuan had more than 100 yellow apricot immortal essence beads. Once he reached the minimum requirement, he would start refining Gu. Fang Yuan was anxious to refine heavenly essence treasure Imperial Lotus because he knew that now was the best time to do it. The battle in Crazed Demon Cave had just ended. The 3 venerables' methods were all exposed, while they could not modify their methods yet. Thus, in a fight, Fang Yuan had a greater advantage. After all, he had more Tao marks than Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and star constellation Immortal Venerable that if he missed this chance, once the two venerables modified their methods, the result of their fight would be uncertain. Immortal essence stockpile is my weakness. If I do not use this chance to fix this flaw, in our standoff in the future, my immortal essence reserves will always be below the two of them. I will always be restricted by this. Fang Yuan knew he had to take risks. Longevity Heaven. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable suddenly shouted. His eyes widened. His gaze pierced through Longevity Heaven and cast down on all 5 regions. Good. With the amplification of Longevity Heaven's luck path down marks, I can see all the luck of the life forms in the 5 regions. Heavenly Court first looked at Heavenly Court. After a while, he turned to Eastern Sea, but could not find Fang Yuan. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable was shocked. He quickly searched and found a type of luck in the mixed black and white heaven. This luck was burning like a furnace. There were cracks on the surface and little firewood at the bottom. There was an immortal crane that resembled a cloud or mist within it, burning slowly in turmoil. Heaven form. Instantly, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's eyes burst out with bright light. But he laughed heartily as he understood Fang Yuan's current condition. This heaven form killer move is left by thieving Heaven Demon Venerable. It was used by Fang Yuan during the Fate War to invade Heavenly Court. With the fusion of both heavens, Heaven Form's foundation is unstable. It needs Fang Yuan's protection. This rank 9 killer move is extraordinary, with Fang Yuan restricted by it. Now is the time for me to strike. During the Fate War, Fang Yuan exposed Heaven Form. Longevity Heaven had cooperated with him multiple times. Thus, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable knew about this information. After seeing this, the Northern Plains Immortal Venerable set off to Eastern Sea. He moved quickly and resolutely, without a moment of hesitation. In the mixed black and white heaven, Fang Yuan sighed while smiling slightly. He had sensed Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's investigation earlier. He purposely dispelled obscured heavenly secret to test it out. The result was that Giant Sun Immortal Venerable moved out to attack him. Since Giant Sun is coming, what about star constellation? A dark light flashed in Fang Yuan's eyes. Chapter 2230, Star Constellations Attack. Chapter 2230, Star Constellations Attack Eastern Sea. Deep within ICC area in the pitch-black bottom of the sea, a huge ice mountain filled the vision of 2 Sioux clan Gu immortals. These 2 Sioux clan immortals had rank 7 cultivation level. One was Su Chun. He was specialized in healing methods. The other was Su Ming Wan. He cultivated dark path. The 2 Gu immortals were traveling within a rank 7 immortal Gu house. This immortal Gu house was called Moving Frame Pavilion. It was a rarely seen strength path immortal Gu house. The body of the house was like a pavilion, with 8 big, thick blue-gold pillars supporting the pavilion roof and pressing down on the pedestal. The blue-gold pillars were not straight, but bent with an obvious curvature. The 2 ends were inwardly curved, and the middle section expanded outwardly on the whole. The entire moving frame pavilion looked like a huge bird cage with the 2 Sioux clan Gu immortals inside it. The moving frame pavilion emitted a layer of dark blue light, blocking the sea water that was outside it. Even so, a cold chill still permeated the place. After facing the icy mountain for some time, the eyebrows and hair of the Sioux clan Gu immortals were covered in frost. So cold. This ice mountain is made from 1,000-year profound ice. Moving frame pavilion does not have enough defense against it. We need to act quickly. Sioux clan's Gu immortals conversed while activating moving frame pavilion together, unleashing a strength path method. Instantly, there was a loud sound as a corner of the 1,000-year profound ice mountain was cracked by a formless force and floated towards the 2 Sioux clan immortals. After reaching a certain distance, Su Chun immediately took action to move this 1,000-year profound ice into his immortal aperture. Boom, boom, boom. Moving frame pavilion continued to exert strength as pieces of the 1,000-year profound ice mountain were moved into their immortal apertures gradually. But good times did not last long. The surrounding ice-poisoned starfish were alarmed by them and quickly approached aggressively. Su clan's 2 immortals tensed up immediately. I will lure them away. You should take as much as you can. Su Chun immediately flew out of moving frame pavilion to in this deep sea. Even though he was a rank 7 Gu immortal, trying to lure away the ice-poisoned starfish group was still a risky thing to do. Su Ming, one who was left in moving frame pavilion, was not safe from danger either. Who knew what would happen next? It was not easy to retrieve the 1,000-year profound ice. Even for a superforce like Su Clan, which sent 2 rank 7 Gu immortals along with an immortal Gu house that could rival rank 8 Gu immortals, it was still full of danger. But there was nothing else Su Clan could do to as an Eastern Sea Righteous Path superforce. After joining the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance, they were extorted by Fang Yuan and had to contribute water path resources. Fang Yuan's requirement towards the water path resources was very high. He needed them to be usable as the water vein nodes. Naturally, Su Clan did not lack such resource points, but they did not want to give up their personal wealth. Coincidentally, Su Clan was situated close to ICC area. Deep within this sea area, there were abundant ice and snow immortal materials. Thus, they planned to collect the profound ice here and hand it to Fang Yuan to satisfy his request. Quick, be quicker. Su Mingwan raised his speed to the limit, but he still had insufficient 1,000-year profound ice. There was no helping it. Without Su Chun, his efficiency plummeted. And worse was that a shark group in the sea got disturbed by them. They swam towards moving frame pavilion. Sigh. We have no choice but to retreat. Su Mingwan sighed deeply. Feeling helpless inside, he had only found this underwater 1,000-year profound ice mountain after much trouble. But after this excavation, the environment would be greatly affected, causing a chain of reactions to occur. The stable ecology would instantly become chaotic. The beast groups here would start fighting against each other. Even if they did not fight, they would be wary against each other. If any commotion occurs, they would attack together. And more terrifying, a beast tide might occur. For the following period, trying to excavate 1,000-year profound ice here would have much greater risks. Su Mingwan and Su Chen's best choice was to leave and find other suitable targets next. But right when Su Mingwan was about to leave, there was a surging aura above the Su Mingwan's expression changed intensely. This aura was grand and imposing. It was mighty and unstoppable. All of the sharks that were swimming were intimidated. They escaped in panic. Su Mingwan's expression was filled with shock. This is a venerable's aura. At the previous moment, he felt that a huge sun had flown above his head, across the sea area. Giant sun, immortal venerable. He is attacking Eastern Sea. Su Mingwan was flustered and panicked. He quickly informed Su Chun about this. Su Chun was not far away. He was also stunned at the moment. Quick, tell First Supreme Elder about this. Giant Sun, immortal venerable, seems to be moving towards our Su clan. Su Chun could not help but shout in fear. Are the two venerables' battle going to take place in our Su clan's territory? Su Mingwan was shocked by this guess. His face was as pale as white paper. However, contrary to their guesses, Giant Sun, immortal venerable, did not move straight ahead. His speed fell quickly as he stopped above ICC area. Next, Giant Sun, immortal venerable's rank 9 aura spread out in an unrestrained manner, showing his grand and domineering attitude. The entire sky rippled with golden light. The golden light spread rapidly to the sky and sea, expanding in all directions. Sensing the terrifying aura of the venerable, almost all the underwater life forms escaped in panic. Thanks to this, the two immortals' predicament was resolved, but they were not happy about it. Instead, they started to guess. What is Giant Sun, immortal venerable, trying to do? Oh, Giant Sun stopped at ICC area. In the immemorial two heavens, Fang Yuan quickly sensed this situation. Giant Sun, immortal venerable, did not conceal his traces at all. It was like he was trying to tell Fang Yuan openly, I have arrived, immemorial two heavens. So his plan is to stop above ICC area after all. Fang Yuan had a calm expression. After the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Giant Sun, immortal venerable, recovered to some extent, but his battle strength would not have risen by much. After leaving Longevity Heaven, Giant Sun, immortal venerable's Dao marks would be far inferior than Fang Yuan. Thus, for Giant Sun, immortal venerable, even if he saw Fang Yuan's situation, attacking him abruptly would not have any benefits. Only Star Constellation, immortal venerable, would gain from this. That it was very wise. That Giant Sun, immortal venerable, chose to enter Eastern Sea. He was currently refining Eastern Sea's natural luck path Dao marks. Once he refines all of Eastern Sea's luck path Dao marks, then Giant Sun Immortal Venerable would have a territorial advantage when fighting in Eastern Sea. Even if he was not in Eastern Sea, he could activate killer move from Northern Plains that would be effective in Eastern Sea. One could say that Giant Sun Immortal Venerable was planting a tower in Fang Yuan's base camp. It could inspect Eastern Sea situation during normal times, and in battle, the activation of luck path Dao marks would allow him to launch attacks on the entire Eastern Sea. Fang Yuan could not do much to Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, but he could not leave, unless he abandoned heaven form to return to Eastern Sea and face him. But in that case, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable only had to retreat and leave, while Fang Yuan would lose a rank 9 killer move if Giant Sun Immortal Venerable did not retreat and fought against Fang Yuan in attrition. Fang Yuan's immortal essence reserves would dwindle further in the event they fought. Although Giant Sun Immortal Venerable would be at a disadvantage, he would not be killed so easily. Fang Yuan had expected this to happen long ago, when the heaven vein of the immemorial two heavens started to fuse. Fang Yuan had already deduced the crisis of heaven form. This problem occurred after the battle in Crazed Demon Cave. From Fang Yuan's perspective, this situation was already very good. The collapse of heaven form was a problem. Fang Yuan needed to try to resolve it while using the chance to create an opportunity to refine heavenly essence treasure Imperial Lotus. He did not have enough immortal essence now. It was not time to advance the goo. Thus, he could also not expose obscured heavenly secret yet. When Giant Sun Immortal Venerable checked on Fang Yuan, he immediately retracted this move. For a person like Fang Yuan, his own weaknesses and flaws were things he could exploit to use against his enemies. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable was already influenced by him. Next, it was Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's turn. Heavenly Court. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's beautiful eyes looked at Eastern Sea. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, she muttered. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable chose to stay in ICC area. It was really an amazing choice on his part. ICC area was at the westernmost part of Eastern Sea. It was closest to Central Continent. By refining the luck path Dao marks of Eastern Sea, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable was also trying to threaten Central Continent. After sensing Fang Yuan's issue, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable made a move. But he did not fight against Fang Yuan. This shows that his battle strength has not risen much, and he is also guarding against me. Thoughts collided rapidly in Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's mind. If there were only Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Heaven Refining Demon Venerable in existence, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable would definitely fight his way to the immemorial two heavens now and attack Fang Yuan. After all, he had abundant immortal essence. Even though Fang Yuan had higher battle strength, he could not kill Giant Sunday. A battle of attrition was very beneficial to Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. After the battle, Fang Yuan's immortal essence reserves would shrink. He would not be able to utilize his advantage as a refinement path venerable. Even rank 9 killer move heaven form would be affected and might get destroyed. But with Star Constellation Immortal Venerable around, the situation was different. If Giant Sun Immortal Venerable pitted himself against Fang Yuan, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable would benefit the most. From this point, it could be seen that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was helping Fang Yuan. Heaven form. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable squinted slightly. This rank 9 killer move could not be allowed to exist. During the Fate War, this was the killer move that allowed Fang Yuan to break into Heavenly Court as long as heaven form existed. Fang Yuan could break into any grotto heaven in the immemorial two heavens. This was a huge threat to both Heavenly Court and Longevity Heaven. After thinking about it, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable came up with a planned the next moment. She connected to Treasure Yellow Heaven and contacted Fang Yuan. Great love, Immortal Venerable. I want your help in refining some immortal goo. What do you think? Star Constellation Immortal Venerable said while smiling. In the immemorial two heavens, Fang Yuan's gaze flickered slightly. He had also expected Star Constellation Immortal Venerable to find him. Fang Yuan understood the intention of Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. He said, "What immortal goo do you want?" Also, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, How will you deal with giant sun, immortal venerable? Star constellation immortal venerable replied immediately. I need star thought immortal goo, star eyes immortal goo, and permanence immortal goo. Fang Yuan was silent for a while before replying. Sure, but I need to see your sincerity first. Okay, here is my sincerity. Before star constellation immortal venerable finished her words, she turned into a star rainbow that flew straight for northern plains.